Here we are.
That's why they call it clockwork.
Unreal.
Here we go, baby.
Somebody's giving him too much caffeine.
No, I'm up. This morning was bridge sprints, and it could not have been prettier. It was just what a spectacular morning. The weather is fantastic. Jim Barrett was in the waiting room on YouTube waiting to get in here.
I love it. I see his comments. I hope he's watching and I hope he's here. I haven't seen him in a while.
Our friend Doug Marudian from Buffalo tells me that the stream on YouTube is better than LinkedIn. And I go, there's 3 people on YouTube, 25,000 on LinkedIn. We ain't moving, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. It's why it's there, right? Exactly. It's why it's there.
So hopefully it works for you. Talk to me about your terrific Tuesday. How'd it go?
Oh, it was fantastic. The best news of the day was that Kai got his first report card. And as expected, A, straight A's across the board. So he was very excited about it. He was very proud of it, which I thought was very cool to see how much he enjoyed getting that praise.
So I am sure that he is not wanting of humility. Our world, baby.
It was cool. It was a cool conversation, to have a conversation around what getting straight A's meant and try to have some understanding of he doesn't really know. He goes to school every day, he does what he's asked to do, and he comes home. So he gets straight A's. So trying to put some context around what that means for him and showing him that what he's doing is good and is working was really cool to have that conversation.
I'm a firm believer that, those impressionable years, learning how to learning to, accept feedback from those around you, those skill sets never go away. So I'm thrilled. And he's a participator. He likes to mix it up and get it in there.
He likes to be involved for sure.
Doesn't hurt that he is absolutely spectacular looking.
If you do say so yourself.
If I do say so myself.
He's competitive, when it comes time to learning a new poem in the class, he wants to be the first one to know the whole poem. So it's cool to see him be passionate about learning.
I have no idea where he got that from. So I always like, and this is another practice of mine in the morning, gratitude. I like to put things in perspective, focus on them, write them down, things I'm grateful for. And I like to include the people around me. Big shout out to David Roth. Shay, show me David Roth, who hard work pays off, just got announced that he's the associate photographer for a headshot crew, which I don't really know what that is, but he explained it as it's like if Michael Jordan were to say, I want to teach you basketball, this one guy was able to do it for him. So shout out for all the work you do for us. Your stuff makes a difference, man.
It's really cool to see how many people we knew in that picture, just really, really awesome. So shout out to David.
Super proud of him. In the gratitude, I am sending gratitude back to our friend Maria from Quantum House, who religiously sends me notes. Dear Steve, just a note of gratitude for the impact you have made and continue to make with you and your sons and everybody around you. The daily huddle has been a constant for me. It has stretched me. Thank you and the crew. So guys, kudos. Thank you. Back. Gratitude's in the world. Gratitude is a boomerang. You put it out there, boom, it comes whipping right back. And then this one is the gratitude of gratitudes. I was able to attend Scott McGregor's TCC event yesterday, which was amazing. The huddle was well represented, man. I think we made up half of the crew that was there. But one very, very special shout out. Shay, show me Jeremy Torres, please.
Very much. So I'll keep it short. Brian, you said you have ADHD. I have 100 HD. So I get you. It's really bad. One of the things about my career, 30 years, I worked very, very, very hard. I started at the bottom and worked my way down because I was a ditch digger, and then had to work my way up. 30 years later, had a lot of success, but I changed industries a year ago, a little over, and one person who's actually on this call, Steve Nudelberg, changed my whole life because of him and the way I look at connecting with people a different way. I am very close with more than a dozen people on this very video. Who is the one person in your life back when you were starting to start all this that had that kind of an impact on you? That, do you have that one person?
That's a great question.
What was the change?
I saw Steve. I don't see him right now, but he was wearing a Huddle shirt.
Oh, if I didn't know he was off, I wouldn't have said it was him.
You shouted him out.
So for those who don't know, that's Brian Scudamore. Brian is the founder of, among many companies, but 1-800-JUNK. And he laid down some amazing nuggets. He was super cool about being intentional, being, unique. But here's a couple of nuggets from him, and then we'll go right to the wake up music. Clear vision, right people, and systems to scale. Where have we heard that before?
Yeah, love it.
Little tidbit about him. He said it took him, most people don't have the patience. They want instant success. It took him 8 years for that company to do their first $1 million. Yesterday, by 11 o'clock, that company did $1 million. Bam. Success leaves clues. Pay attention. Shay, let's wake up.
Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up. Come on, come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in there. No more back to thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Come on now.
All right. So for those who don't know the rule in the book, it's 3, get up in the morning, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. It could be the sun, the moon, the fact that your grandson got straight A's. Focus on the gratitude and it boomerangs right back at you. Switching gears. Love when people that we work with actually do what we teach them. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's the whole point.
So when they actually do it. So we had the pleasure of working with John Breckenridge. John's in Sacramento. He gave us a roaring testimonial Saturday, if you saw it on social media. But this was his post, and I want to show you how it's done.
I love it.
Isn't that great, man? So when you see this, you get warm fuzzy about this guy. Sweatshirt, cool. He's married. You can tell he's putting something out there. Is before you speak, think. Just writes it on a board. And I just want to shout him out because that is what social media is for. Speak your mind, put good things out there because that too boomerangs. Comment, my son.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think that's the hardest part, I think, for people is when they get started on the LinkedIn journey is figuring out what the content is. And we preach the message over and over and over that it's not really create, it's just document. What are you thinking? What are you doing? What's happening in your life? And then find a way to just share it, whether it's taking a selfie like that, whether it's grabbing a picture from something that you were doing with somebody else, whatever it is, just find a way to share it. And if you have it in your mind that you're looking at it as sharing, it should be successful.
And he's having fun with it. He's enjoying it, which is really the whole point. So I want to move to motivational music. I want you to stick around afterwards because today is a high five. We're going to talk about my man, Robin Sharma. 3 different things that we're going to do that have to do with 5 a.m., 5 acts of character training, and 5 rituals that will determine success. So it's a give me 5. It's a give me 5. But before we do that, who would have thought that Elton John and Eddie Vedder would get together to go for an e-ticket ride? Go. So that song is brand new. Tell me, do you remember what an e-ticket is?
No idea.
So for a trivia question that throws out there, and
When you say e-ticket to me, I think of every digital ticket I've ever used to get into an event. That's an e-ticket.
How the world has changed. So somebody, and I'm not going to give it away, somebody please tell me what an e-ticket is. But there you have E. Elton John, E. Eddie Vedder coming together. Great music, very motivational, really, really cool. So let's get into some Robin Sharma. So when I say the word Robin Sharma, what does that mean to you?
Saint Surfer, the CEO.
Okay,
One of my favorite
Slow it
books.
down and say it again.
The Saint, the Surfer, the CEO, one of my favorite books of all time.
So I read that book. Somebody gave that book to me. It was fantastic, right? Incredible. I said to Mark at an influential time, I think you were in your teens. I had just started full time at Florida State. So I had just started my career, and it was great for perspective. It's an amazing book that talks about purpose. And so I'm a big Robin Sharma fan. So the first Gimme 5 is what he calls the 5 a.m. club, which is pretty cool. 5 a.m. He says, if you program 1 hour in the morning, if you go from 5 to 6, now I actually moved it up and do it earlier, but if you program that hour, he calls it the victory hour. If you get up at 5 and do sweating, reflecting, and the chance to grow, which is learning, nourishing, or whatever, your life will change. Comments?
Yeah. So 5 a.m. is great. 5 a.m. is not early enough for me because we work out at 5:45. So I got to shift it earlier in order to have that hour. But I have always been a believer in winning the day before the day starts. Like we used to have 7 o'clock staff meetings at Florida State. I made it my priority to win the hour between 6 and 7 because all the coaches were walking into the office at 6:58 getting ready for the staff meeting. They'd walk right in. I had already worked out. I had already had my oatmeal. I had already gotten my preparation ready for that meeting. I had won the hour before anybody else started, and that helped me be successful early in my career and feeling like I had some control. So I'm a firm believer in winning early. Not everybody, believes in the morning, but I think it's the most powerful thing you can do.
I love it. And that's really really well said and succinct. Really doesn't matter when you get up so much as if you keep it programmed.
But he said something about that 5 a.m. club that I think is really important too, right? He also executes on the 9:30 rule.
Correct.
So he says if you're going to get up at 5, then you got to do a great job at being in bed and ready at 9:30 to allow yourself to get up at 5, because if you shortchange yourself the sleep, your body's not going to be able to function at 5 a.m. for the long haul. So
the number one question I get asked when I make presentations, and
when do you go to bed?
See that we're both making them at scale, as soon as they read or hear that I'm up at 3, they go, what time do you go to bed? My answer is I go to bed when I'm tired. I'm usually tired about 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Right.
It's been a full day, man. So last night was 9:20, but whatever. So there's the first Gimme 5. The second Gimme 5 is winning starts at the beginning. You can just write that. Winning starts at the beginning. So he encourages 5 acts of character training every day. So when was the last time you ever heard anybody talk about character training?
I love it. I mean, people don't talk about it enough. I think it's
unbelievable.
When we talk about ability and skills, right? This is training ability.
So, number 1, we're talking about gratitude. Write a letter of gratefulness to someone who deserves to be recognized. How hard is that? You can do it in an email. You can do it in a video. You can send it in snail mail. Opening that letter from Maria was fantastic. Number 2, read from a profound book. Okay, pretty simple. That builds your character. To me, I read from the best book ever.
Yeah,
the Bible, baby, man.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, take 5 minutes. Stop, take 5 minutes, close your eyes, and think of you performing at your highest level.
Visualization.
So Mark, athletes think of winning, scoring the winning touchdown, throwing the winning pass, making the winning interception. They see it before it happens.
So on Friday nights before a Saturday game, we would do a thing that was called One Reel. And it was a clip of the formations that we were going to run to start the game. And we would call out the plays and guys would have to visualize doing their job. But the clip that we actually used, the video, we would always make sure that we found a really successful play. A play that went for a touchdown, a play that went for a first down, a play that went for a big gain, an explosive play, because we didn't leave it up to them. We wanted them to see what we were trying to do work well and execute at a high level so that it trained their brain. Here, you're saying what you're going to do, and now here's a visualization of it.
Love it. I mean, really, really fantastic. Before I forget to shout out to Joe Gonzalez, who had a virtual coffee with Matt Huff. Huddling again, baby. Huddling all day long. Number 4, and this is important to do every day before 9 a.m., perform one act of generosity. Wow. Can you imagine if everybody every day performed one act of generosity? What kind of planet would we be living on, man? It would be so unbelievable because it's contagious. Just like the virus was contagious, so is being generous. Do something generous. If you're in line at Starbucks, pay for the person behind you. Spend the $3 and move on and watch what happens. And number 5, turn off your phone until 9 a.m. Now, I don't believe in that. So
You would die. You would absolutely die.
My brain would implode. So
I love
5 acts of character training. This is what I try and tell people. You know, training and conditioning is not physical only. It's mental, and all the different things that you can work on to get yourself better all start with your mind's going to keep you away from doing something physical. It's really powerful. So feed it, make your brain happy. Good things happen when you're happy.
Well, the other part of that is, like, we talk about waking up early. People don't want to get up early. If you start really enjoying that first hour of being up, if you start really, like, one of the people that we work with, Val Sear, who we work with at City, that gratitude move in the morning, she actually has a gratitude chair now where she gets up, she goes and sits in her gratitude chair as she writes in her gratitude journal. That completely shifted her brain on how she starts her day, which was the stepping stone to really owning her calendar and really owning her behaviors at work. It all started in that first hour for her at home. When you start enjoying that time, you want to go to bed. You want to get up early because you're looking forward to the things that are happening and you're not dreading it. It's a different look.
So I love the fact that she's intentional about it. It is a very deliberate act to stay in a place to focus on gratitude. And everybody has something to be grateful for. It could be very small, whatever. So I love hearing that. So we'll move on to the last 5. We will probably go to overtime because this is the Mac Daddy. These are 5 rituals that predict success. My man, my bald brother, give me 5. Boom. Number 1, early rising.
So do we need to? It's like beating a dead horse at this point. Like, get up early. If you haven't heard it yet, get up earlier.
Number 2, strategic time blocking.
So, I mean, it goes right into all the things that we talk about in time management. It goes into all the things we talk about in building a strategy. But strategic time blocking is really understanding how to do what you need to do and when you need to do it, right? Like, that to me is know when you're creative, and play with it. Like, I've actually shifted my schedule. I now write my creative post the night before I go to bed. So I'm no longer doing it in the morning. I'm using my morning time for my Spanish lessons now. So, like, switch it up. Figure out what works. But
Spanish lessons.
Yeah.
What?
We have a baby on the way, right? And Gabby's family is Cuban and fluent in Spanish and primarily speaks Spanish. It's important for us as a family to be able to speak it in the house. So I'm picking it back up. It's been approximately 13 years since I've done anything with it, but we're back in it.
Very awesome. Number 3, this one's a doozy. Over delivering. Constantly go the extra mile. Nobody does that anymore. We expect mediocrity. You know, if you go to a restaurant now, service sucks. People don't smile. They don't do anything. We're okay with that. I say bullshit. I'm spending my money where someone's going to go the extra mile. So you stand out very deliberately if you do that. Number 4, be the 60-minute student. Schedule 60 minutes a day to learn. That's why I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, because I get my 60 minutes of learning out of the way before anybody even turns on a light or is thinking about what they're doing for a day. The 60-minute student is so important. If you think about the time, an hour a day, times a week, times a month, times the years, that's how you become an expert at something, you know? And just being around this information, the fact that we're volleying this information, if you take one nugget and it stirs you to do something, it's great. And then number 5, probably the most important of all, is take time for private reflection. And I love the way he did it. The antidote to busyness is reflection.
Honest review.
Off the gas, man. What's happening in my life? What am I doing? So that was Robin Sharma's. I think we got a ton of great content today. I know we got a ton of gratitude. I'm so excited. Mark, tell us about tomorrow.
There will be no huddle tomorrow. So tomorrow is Veterans Day. So there are some people who are taking it off, depending on the organization that you're in. But it's a great day to celebrate the people who have served our country. And we will also be at the American Heart executive breakfast. So no huddle tomorrow morning. Celebrate Veterans Day. Give thanks to the people who have served our country, and then we will see you guys on Friday.
So before we blast out of here, shout out to the Marines. It's Happy Marines Day. I know Chris is a veteran of the Marine Corps, so good for him. Happy Marines Day. Like you said, no huddle today. There will be a replay that we can do, but right now it's time to get. Oh, I forgot one more thing. E-ticket was in Disney World. You used to be able to get an A, B, C, D, or E ticket. Boom. Now it's no longer an E-ticket, but thank you, Les Gusky, for bringing that up. Shay, let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this.